Welcome back to the Sick Podcast, guys, with Sunny, Raz, and Chris. Today we have two amazing guests with us, Rasmey and Riza. Say hi, guys.
What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about something that affects everybody in the world, but especially the gaming community. And all of us here are gamers to some extent or other. And it's loot boxes and microtransactions. And why they're fucking us up. All right, Chris, looks like you got something to say.
I do. So I remember a time when I could go to the store, pick up a game, and have it be completely finished and done. There was no patching. There was no microtransactions. When you paid $60 for your game, you went home and you could play the entire game. Mm-hmm. And you could build the community like locally or something, or maybe like on the internet there would be like online communities, but you would all have the exact same experience. There wouldn't be anything that you would pay to buff or like nerf yourself in any way. It was just everyone comes in and comes out like the exact same, starting point. Mm-hmm. With microtransactions, things get a little bit more complicated because you introduce things like pay to win.
Yep.
And that is like a true like plague on like gaming.
It's a joy kill.
Big time. I know Sunny has some choice words about pay to win.
Oh hell yeah, pay to win. I feel like it's very prominent in MMORPGs. I used to play. I know you guys have been hearing me like talk about it a lot. Mabinogi. Mm-hmm. That's a game I played like a long time ago. That game has a lot of pay to win. So there is these things called like now Spirit Stones, and they're basically free revives. Like the instant full heals, full mana, like full stamina, all that kind of stuff. And people can buy like a bunch of those. You can buy like 99, and those they come like $2 for like one, so they're pretty expensive. And you can just spam that shit in like every single dungeon, while other free players have to kind of take kind of like a penalty, like half their health, or they just completely lose the dungeon outright.
They definitely have to be a lot more careful. Mm-hmm. I think it takes out a lot of the fun, honestly, when you just pay to win like that, and you don't have to have any like good strat or anything, or you don't have to have like a good like team of other players with you to like take on a dungeon or like a boss or something together. Oh yeah, it's just kind of cheap. I don't know.
I mean, it's
expensive but cheap.
That's true. Well, there is flavor in winning. There's flavor in obviously being more powerful than others, and that's why there's a balancing, and there are choices of weapons in multiple games.
Yeah, pay to win is like my dad is a lawyer of the video game world.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
But like I play League, right? And League, it's a free to play game, or so they say, and like champions and items and all that's earned and lost through your just in-game actions. Right. None of that should be affected by outside influences like money. But now it kind of is. Now you can just buy champions through like loot boxes. They changed the way you earn in-game experience and money to get more champions. Now you have to like grind a lot for it.
Oh wow.
So I feel like it's kind of destroyed that aspect for me a little bit. Also skins.
Well, skins is understandable because it's just like cosmetic. Like there's no real problem with that.
I can agree with, but when it comes to like changing actual gameplay, so so that's what I mentioned. This is kind of like the okay part, but if you're just buying like weapons or free revives or whatever, I feel like what you're doing now is simply you're not just ruining the game for yourself by buying it. You're ruining for everybody else who plays and tries their hardest to get the best equipment.
Yeah, I mean the biggest issue I would see in a pay-to-win game would probably be PvP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're someone who has not paid a single cent in the game, gotten strong yourself, but you play against someone who's spent money, got all those free upgrades just for spending money, fight you definitely feel like, yeah.
You're gonna get booty.
And you feel a sense of defeat, like, why even try?
I think the new Star Wars Battlefront 2, it came out with like a bunch of like pay-to-win type of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was such a big uprising from the community that they actually I think it's like a relatively decent game now, like now that EA has like taken down a lot of the microtransaction-y stuff, like aspects of it. But that is like definitely a big problem with like FPS games or like anything like that where you're just directly competing against another player. Mm-hmm. So
Riza, I saw your hand. What's up?
No, I was going to ask a question earlier because I was like, you guys were talking about how you don't like them, like, because you have to pay to like upgrade and stuff. But is that for games that you get for free, and then they're just extra costs because it's free, and then that's just how they make money?
That's one business model.
That is fair. So people need to make money. They're not putting this stuff out for free.
Right.
But I will say, Riot, who made League, was I think the number one video game for like a couple of years running straight. I could be wrong about this, but they were the number one video game, and they were free. And the only thing they sold for real money were skins and cosmetic things.
Yeah.
Now it's changed so that even just getting the champs that you want to play, you have to invest either a ridiculous amount of time into it or just pay to get it all.
That's like a Fallout. What's the shitty Fallout that just
76.
came out? Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was buggy as hell, incomplete, and it was completely like grindy. Like you would have to dedicate so much time just to get like one like good thing. Whereas if you paid, you could instantly be like, like just wrecking like all the people that like don't pay to win or anything like that. So, but the other aspect of it, even if it is purely cosmetic, let's take a game like Overwatch where they have the you can't directly buy stuff, but you can buy like loot boxes.
Yeah.
That turns into gambling.
Right.
In some sense.
Yes.
And that becomes a big time problem because most of their profits are coming from people who are prone to like addiction, like addictive like personalities. So these are people that are spending a lot of money gambling on their odds to like win some big time like whatever it is, like some like highly
Legendary
sought after
skin.
rare skin, or something like that. So it's really like preying on this small or maybe not so small subset of people that just can't control themselves when it comes to money and gambling because they love like the rush of it.
Right. What makes it even worse is that Overwatch, I'm pretty sure a lot of teenagers probably play the game.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much sending these young people in to go in and pretty much gamble money away just to try to get some legendary skin that's probably not even that much worth it.
Yeah, it's purely like cosmetic. It's just a flex on your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm a little worried that it's something that develops into a habit with a lot higher stakes.
Right.
So if you're gambling with loot boxes now, maybe in the future you're gambling in like a casino or something like that, or like betting on sports.
Yeah. So to your point, it makes sense though that the teenagers would be playing it, right? That they're catering to that because they know that they usually don't pay for their own stuff.
Yeah.
Right. They usually
Low stakes.
Yes, it's and that's how like it's a business model. They're going to make more money off of it if they know that kids will be willing to have. I mean, parents will be willing to pay for the kids for certain things, right? And so that's how they make their money. But I agree. I guess I could say I'm also worried about their future. But worse than the loot box system for like upgrades. Like I played Overwatch a bit, and the things you get don't really change anything.
No, they're also cosmetic.
Yeah, it's cosmetic. I mean, the skins. There's also like voice lines. I mean, there's some nice stuff, but what if the loot boxes change the actual gameplay? So even if you paid money, you're not guaranteed a better weapon. Like first-person shooters.
Yeah, that's another model that people use. Like, what's like the gambling site where if you got some like rare something or other, you could sell it for something else. It just got taken. It was like two like YouTubers or something. They had.
Oh, it was for I think it was for Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah. CS:GO. Yeah. So, what was that all about? That's just another like example.
No, that was
of how
just
to
like
exploit
I think they're betting on. It's like a betting ring or something.
Yeah,
like
it was. Yeah.
Was it betting on like competitive play or something?
I don't remember what it was,
but I know that there was some other thing where there was like a market set up for like rare stuff that you find, and then you can like try and sell it and stuff like that. It's like mostly speculative.
To be absolutely fair, no matter where you go, the community will build up its own economic model all the time.
Yeah.
Like RuneScape, I played RuneScape like mad, and people would make websites on the side where the Grand Exchange, which was the marketplace in the game, there would be limited information about it because it's just a game, right? You just sell and buy, and the prices would fluctuate. People made models and websites for people to sell accounts and also money. And then they make meetups and give money to each other, but pay real money for that.
Right.
It was not really affiliated with the game itself or sponsored by the game itself. So no matter what you do, people will be out here cheating for money. Like in League, there's boosting. You can for rank, you can pay somebody else to play for you, get your rank up high, and then you get your account back. And that's a new level bullshit. But
that's something else. So
no matter where you go, I feel like betting and other types of activities where like we might not approve as, hardworking gamers. But what I'm more worried about is not just the microtransaction, but also in the loot boxes if it changes the game, and they're making so much money off of it.
Yeah.
Like they're making money off something that they didn't have to. Like
Oh.
I just
Going back to the gambling. So recently, I just watched this video. This YouTuber, his name is like Young or something. He's like an Asian guy. He does a lot of like game news and stuff. And basically, the new 2K, basically like a basketball game.
Oh, 2K.
Yeah, and basically they have legit gambling in it. And they actually have slot machines, pachinko, like pachinkos, and they have like the car packs.
what's a pachinko?
It's the Japanese gambling thing.
Oh.
So you put
It's
in a
just-
ball and the ball
yeah.
like falls into.
Oh, I've seen those. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have those too. So they basically have gambling and they have loot boxes in the game. So you have to like get card packs, and there's like seasonal card packs and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait.
And
You
the-
said it's a basketball game?
Yeah,
Yeah. NBA
2K.
2K.
So weird as that sounds, at least they're being honest about their loot box policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They have
true.
slot machines, pachinkos, and these are meant. That game is meant for 3 and up. So they're basically encouraging young players to gamble and use money, like use probably their parents' money
Yeah.
to gamble away and
So
try to get these
3 and
special
up.
characters.
I mean, I've played some of the like recent 2K games. There's definitely kind of a pay to win aspect because they have
Yeah.
their own like virtual currency in there.
That's like FIFA as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay to get these like gold card like
Right.
players and stuff like that, and your like whatever it is, like your like fantasy team or whatever.
Mhm.
It was in-game money or it's like actual.
You use real money, right?
Yeah, so in 2K, I know you can purchase like their virtual currency using real money,
Right.
and pretty much the virtual currency is used to increase your stats. So you can, you have a choice of either grinding to get the virtual currency in game through just like playing and stuff, or you just outright purchase it.
Right.
So you have like those two mediums.
And it takes like, I'm sure that if you're playing 2K, you want to play with your favorite player. Problem is, your favorite player, if you're not playing like just a quick match like with that team or something, if you wanted to assemble your own team or something using these like player packs, that's probably going to cost you a lot of like in-game currency.
Oh yeah.
And so it's probably better for you to just buy
Exactly.
your way through.
Because this shit's only going to last 1 year, and then 21 comes out. They don't update the rosters or anything.
Right.
That's how they make their money.
That's true. But, for what Riza said before, yeah, we complain about it, but hey, they're making money. So if I was to play devil's advocate, it'd be really, really easy to just say, all right, well, you're the idiots that buy it all the time.
Yeah. And
But-
see, that's the problem is there is like there's a pretty big amount of like rebuttal, like negative feedback for this. But the
All the
problem
time.
is money talks a lot
Yes.
more than words.
That's true.
And there's a lot of people that are still buying this shit.
Yeah, and we like to, make up stereotypes sometimes about like, young kids who just use their parents' money for like games and stuff. But at the same time, I've paid a lot of money into League for skins and shit, right? Like, I can't approve of a pay to play game, and I don't. No, sorry, pay to win game, and I don't think I have paid to win, but I can see why people would do it. Like, I understand that want. But not just loot boxes. Let's get into something else that we mentioned. That Rasmey mentioned to me once before. Gotcha games.
Yes.
Ooh.
Gotcha games. So I'm not entirely sure what you guys what you meant by that. But what's a gotcha game?
Oh, gotcha is like it's like it's like those coin like thingies. You put in a coin and then you twist it, and then like a little ball capsule with like a character or something comes out. So it's just like one of those prize things. It's a prize thing. You just put
So,
in
like,
money.
In the context of a game, it's like you get something random, and then you can use it on your team or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of just
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like
loot box.
bingo.
Yeah.
They have all those like the balls with the numbers, and you're
Yeah, yeah,
spinning the thing. That's what it is, but you're just putting in money to
All
spin.
right.
Yeah. Most gotcha games you see are usually through like an app or something.
What's
mobile?
what's
Yeah.
one that Araz would probably know that's popular?
So
I played Archero, which is like been popping up on my like ads all the time on my phone, and I finally got it.
yeah.
And basically, you level up really fucking slowly, and then you revive using gems. And gems you
Ah.
can't get except through like a random carousel little wheel that you get randomly every once in a
Yeah.
while, and you only get 10 at a time. Or you can just pay money and get like hundreds.
Yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't say this. I have used some money on that. I
Right.
feel like $5 I got a bunch. Pokemon Go, I bought raid passes.
Oh,
for
yeah.
using money. It's like $1 for raid pass. Yeah, fuck it, and I did that.
But those, like Pokemon Go is not really like gotcha game.
Yeah,
That's a
really gotcha.
microtransaction
I think,
right there.
I think a game that most would be familiar with, because I'm pretty sure we've all played it. Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key.
Oh yes.
That's definitely a gacha game.
Oh, so you pay with like the gems and stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't know if you're gonna get the character you want.
Right.
Yeah.
So you pretty much just keep rolling to see if you can try to get
It's
it.
like buying a Yu-Gi-Oh card pack and hoping it's the like
Yeah, that's like the real life
version.
equivalent of just
Right.
Of a
No,
loot
it's
box.
like a gumball machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you get to choose which one you want.
That's still bullshit.
And they also have like an extremely low percentage to get.
Yeah,
The
the
character.
rare, like
Yeah.
the super rare, it's like 0.01%.
Yeah.
And then like the doo-doo ones are always like 29%
Yeah.
Yeah,
The chance of
it's
getting,
basically like they have the odds against you, and they just want you to keep going and
Well,
going.
They
yeah.
technically want you to spend the money to try to keep rolling, to keep getting the character you want, especially when they have like
really
limited
good.
events where you only have 7 days to try to roll and get this character.
Oh yeah.
It's,
You know, stuff like that.
it's fairly smart though. Like what they do is they create a system where they make more money if you want to get it, and then they create the demand by making it limited, like you say, or just by
Right.
exploiting people's own character flaws almost, like
Yeah.
gambling addiction, like you were mentioning before,
That's like
which is to be fair, it's actually really smart.
it's smart, but that's classic Monopoly. Like if we wanted to
Yeah.
get into the economics of like microtransactions, what you just described is literally what a monopoly is. It's reduced output at a higher price.
Mm-hmm.
So you're restricting like the availability of this thing artificially, and that would be reflected in like the lower probabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you're also increasing the price where like something might be like free or something like that. You would need to pay to start trying to win these things. That's classic Monopoly.
And also because of the way people are, gamers are, young people,
yeah.
you're kind of ensure that an entire subset of the population is gonna keep grinding and,
Yeah, and trying,
kind of
spending
re-rolling,
money.
re-spinning, kind of just to get what they want,
Yeah.
and then I cry about it when they don't.
That's why like you see like I don't know, I go on like videos and I want to watch, like I used to play a game called Brave Frontier. I used to watch YouTube videos and like people like rolling or like opening the gates to get the characters, and then you always see like the hype reactions, like, oh my god, I got this super rare like unit or something. You know, it makes me want to go back and actually like play the game as well.
But then,
That's true.
but then you know that's not gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna be getting that unit.
But
And
did they
then-
play? Wait, did they play though, or like pay to?
Yeah, they
to
pay.
spin?
Yeah,
Oh.
they pay that, and then they spin it to get that character.
Well, to be fair, if it made on YouTube, they're only showing the good parts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Also, now, I see like ads are very like predatorial, and like when you like scroll through Facebook or something for those like gotcha games, try to get you with like, oh, if you come play our game, you get one free like ticket to get the super mega ultra rare, one unit,
You're right.
and then basically after that they just started giving you like shitty units, kind of like that.
Oh,
you
so
know?
it's,
It's like-
foot in the door type thing.
Yeah,
where
it's
they're
yeah,
trying to
a way
get
to
you.
entice you.
So like bait.
Well, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
free trial. 1 month is like 1 month if you buy the 1 year package or whatever.
Yeah.
Going
Ah.
back to Arch Hero, so like the
It's,
first,
okay, to be fair, it's addicting. I'm still playing it. All right,
yeah,
continue.
it is addicting, but then you realize when you're playing through the game, like the first 2 chapters are like, oh, it's pretty easy. You think you're gonna have like a good time playing this game, and then they hit you with the fucking wall, which is chapter 3, and
Sonny's only saying that because
yeah.
he's on chapter 3 right now.
yeah,
See, I
and-
beat that chapter. Then there's another wall.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Wait, what is the game though?
It's like you're basically like an archer or something like that, and you just go through different levels, killing
Go
monsters.
through dungeons.
Yeah.
You shoot monsters and they try fighting back.
And yeah, the first 2 chapters are like super simple, and after you hit like chapter 3, you hit like a hard fucking wall, and
Yeah,
where
that-
you have to basically grind for gear,
Yeah.
or you pay real money to get past that level.
Yeah, like they, cause I play it too, and I remember, don't they give you like, if you die, they're like, this is a loot box for to help clear you chapter 3 or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
so
and it's
they-
like $6.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
It's
actually
like some
have
ludicrous price.
they have targeted ads
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
based on where you are and then where you died and what level you are and stuff. Like I grinded that game to hit a certain level so I can upgrade more. And you're not even allowed to upgrade your skills anymore until you hit another level. So you have to grind again.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and the,
For gear, you can't even do that. There
Right.
is no grinding for gear. You have to pretty much buy it.
Yeah.
They give you there's a basic chest with like first 2 levels of equipment, and then a special chest, which is like a chance for good equipment. You get that good chest for free once a week.
Yeah.
Once a fucking week, they give you one chest, but you can buy it.
Yeah, but you don't even have like the chance of actually getting like it's not guaranteed that you get a good item. You
Yeah.
could still get like a common item, and it'd just be a waste.
It's just the same odds.
I think it's like $6 for the purple chest, which is the super rare chest.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Wow.
I know you play not really like a game, Riza, but you play like a gacha clothing game.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about
No, it literally is a gacha game. Like, I mean, aside from like doing the gacha, and so they give you coins or like they give you tickets, and that's how you play. And there's like different types of tickets because there's different types of gachas. Like there's like premium and rare, and then there's like normal and petite now. So they just give you tickets, and what you do, honestly, you just dress up your character, and then you cheer for other people if you like them. And then the more you cheer for people, the more you get like you build up like towards like getting prizes or whatever for the day. There's like daily quests or whatever, and then there's also special events that they have. But yeah, basically the whole game is just a gacha. But it's like I've only paid like $2 ever for it.
They got you.
Because
They got you.
no,
That's what they call it.
I've only ever
They
done that
gotcha.
because now they give you free coins. Like sometimes when you log in, there's like you get like 5 free coins, or like you can get like 10 a month or something. So you don't have to pay to buy them anymore.
Right.
Nice.
But,
But you can still get more. So I know what
But
you're
you
gonna
can
say.
buy. It's expensive. If you want to get like 100 coins, it's like $48 or something.
Holy
I was like, I
fuck.
would never pay that much.
That's expensive.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a lot.
no, because when I paid like the $1.99, I've only done it, or not $1.99, like the 99 cents. I've only done it because they had like a special. Instead of getting 8 coins, you get 10.
Oh,
'Cause
two
it's like
extra.
like the ones you get are like really low, but the really nice like clothes and stuff that you get are from like the ones where it's
25%
only
increase
coins.
was
Oh,
really
yeah.
got you.
But
I
they
gotta-
give you like everyone like a free play for each one now.
Right.
Like they changed it a lot since they first got it.
So,
Because
like,
I've had this game for like.
That kind of is a callback to the hooks, where it's like, all right, daily logins. You see that in almost every game
Yeah.
now.
I log in
It's
every
to
day.
keep, and then building up to rewards. It keeps you coming back to the game, and it keeps you in the game for longer,
Yeah.
so that you're more like invested. And but you mentioned something quests, and I got some
Well,
beef
those
with-
ones are only just like just cheering a certain amount,
Oh,
or like
true.
like just changing your character's clothes and then doing another show. Because what you do is like you show them. Yeah. It's cute, okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, but like
Like it's a really well made game.
yeah, League has these like weekly quests now, where it's like watch and earn is one of them.
Yeah.
It's basically you go and watch the
Ads.
championship.
Oh, just kidding.
You watch the championship players, and if you watch 3 or 4 a certain amount, then you get some, just in-game currency. There's other ones where play as a certain person, or there's always rotating events, and then you just have to kind of participate in them. There's a new game mode that some people enjoy and other people don't, but people play anyways just to get the rewards for that thing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to kind of make people more well-rounded, kind of expose them to different things. However, there's one thing that pisses me off. It's called a season pass.
Oh.
Oh, now, Raza, I'll let you take it from here.
Is this a league?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, they have other stuff, but right now it's called season pass. There's other ones, and it's always rotating.
Yeah.
Or like do other games have these things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, season passes, yeah. The thing about League Season Pass is very interesting because it's a free-to-play game, but pretty much how it works is when they have an event, they'll give you, like, limited missions, or, like, missions, right? Every mission you clear, you'll get special tokens that you can actually spend to actually purchase some of the goodies that they have in the store for you.
Yeah, and for that limited time, like let's say it's like a Halloween event. For that limited time, there would be special things like buy this Halloween pumpkin. You open it, you might randomly get some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of it is real money though. It's all
Yeah.
based on your participation in these events, right? So it's fair so far.
It's fair to a point. So pretty much you can like they have like special like skins or like chromas, which is pretty much just like skins like colored recolored. But the one issue with that is if you complete all the missions, you will never have enough tokens to actually get the special chroma or skin. The only way is you have an actual stash of tokens, but you can't use that unless you buy the season pass.
Yep.
So the only way to actually get like the top like prize is by spending money to actually get it.
Right.
Yeah,
Which is it's kind of ridiculous.
So put the numbers in. It's like they cost up to like 3,000 to 4,000 tokens. In my stash, I have 3,000 tokens. I can only use like 50.
I'm pretty sure you usually get a max like 200 just from the missions.
Yeah, so you can only use a certain amount. The rest go into your stash, and you can only unlock that
Right.
stash
By paying for it.
by paying the season pass. And you know how much it costs? I don't know, like what, $20, $30
No,
sometimes.
it's like $15.
Yeah, it's
okay. It's still money.
And the funny thing about that is they give you just enough tokens to buy an orb, and the orb is pretty much a loot box.
Yeah.
It's you get one random like champion skin or one something, but all the good stuff like the guaranteed you can buy this holiday themed skin or this event themed skin. To do that, you have to pay the money.
Yep.
And I have friends, like direct friends, that will almost every time buy the loot box just because they like it and they want the good stuff. At the end of the day, you lose more money going for these going to get the skins this way than just buying the skin normally. So that's why what Riot did was they made these skins exclusive to the event.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
What's also fucked up, like, definitely League is not the only one to have season pass. Like, Star Wars Battlefront, again, EA. Just gonna call them out. They're like notorious for putting out season passes. Like the first Star Wars Battlefront game, like the new generation, not like the good one.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't like it. They always put out these season passes, so that's also, it's almost like another $60 or something. So you're buying the base game, which doesn't come with that much. This is like what I was referring to. You're buying the base game for like $60, but you're also paying like another almost $60 to get the season passes, which come out. It's not just one, you know, it's like multiple. Maybe like every like season or whatever, they come out with more shit. So like the thing it says here is it says like 16 additional maps and 4 new modes. That should come with the base game.
Right.
You're definitely like isolating people from like the main part of the game if you're not giving it to them in the base game. Like 16 additional maps and 4 modes, like that's a huge chunk. That's a lot. Like they definitely finished the game. It could come with the base, but they just want people to pay double to get the extra content, which should come with the game. It's ridiculous. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2, I think it came with like 4 maps on launch.
Yeah.
And like a couple modes.
Right.
It was like trash. But then you buy the season 2 or like the season pass, and then like you get more shit. Like thankfully they did like rectify that with like free DLC and stuff like that. Like I think that they didn't make it paid anymore, which was good, and they had like more modes and stuff like that. But it's just total bullshit. Like they should just either mark the price up from the get-go, or that's it. Like that's it.
No,
Like, just make it.
I agree.
Just include
so
the stuff.
so this brings us to a whole new topic that I really wanted to, and that's DLCs. DLCs. This is a whole new world. So like, there was a point when I agreed with the idea of DLCs. There is a limit, right? Like I played a lot of Skyrim, and I loved modding the shit out of it, right? And you can buy DLCs. So it adds more map, adds more this, but it didn't change the core gameplay of. I play Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Yeah.
It didn't change. It adds another little bit, which even without it, the game is fine. I liked it because it added flavor to it. The whole game itself is still beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
Right. However, I also play a game called Total War. It's actually a series: Total War, Rome, Total War. You know, there's different Total Wars, and I played them. And it's not a PvP game, so you're not really pit against anybody else. There's no competitive edge that anyone gains over you.
Right.
However, there was now the more recent one, Total War Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
You don't actually. Let me explain Total War. You start out as factions. Like it's like a kind of a conquering the world type scenario situation thing. The one I like playing is like it's like European, so you start as either France or Italy or this or that, and you could go to war with each other, you win, whatever. Now they branched out. Now it's more like Magic and all that good stuff.
Right.
You can't even unlock certain factions anymore. Total War Warhammer, you only start out with like 2 or 3 of the base factions, and all the other literally playable characters are now
all DLC.
You have to buy them individually or in packs. There's now one where there's like there's a DLC that you have to buy that has war dragons. Fucking war dragons. And you can't get that shit unless you pay for it. So
see, like Skyrim was great because the base game was amazing.
the base game was complete. They didn't lie about the advertising.
Yeah.
They just came up with more stuff later and says, hey, this is extra. If you want it, pay for it. It won't affect anyone else. You don't need to cry if you don't get it.
Exactly. Yeah, like that was definitely a $60 game. Like when it came out on launch, like that was complete.
Beautiful.
It was good. Maybe it was a little buggy. I don't actually remember, but I'm sure
No,
they
it was
patched
super
it.
buggy, especially since like I modded the shit out of it.
Yeah, like Bethesda's like notorious for having like buggy as fuck games, which is like.
But bless you, yeah. But great thing is the memes.
But it was complete.
The memes, the community, everyone loved the game with its bugs. It didn't destroy the game. All right, but
Unlike Fallout 76, which
which game breaking,
completely game breaking. Yeah.
Okay, but the reason I'm drawing out these two very different examples, one I'm okay with and one I'm not, is because sometimes the game costs $60, Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
And then the DLCs each cost like $30 each.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. I forgot who did the math, but it's like, and I forgot which game it was, but there are some games where if you want the full game, it costs $300 to $400 if you want everything it has to offer.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Maybe it's kind of like, I'm just thinking back on like, I don't know, I hear this a lot about like Destiny or something like that. Destiny like 1 where you have to buy, like, or it's Destiny 2 where you have to buy the DLC to kind of get that full fun experience. Like, people are always saying like the base game is shit.
So
you have to buy the DLCs to.
Yeah, I think it was the Taken King. I think that was when people were like, "This is when you should actually get the game."
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's the issue with like the whole entire gaming community now.
Mm-hmm.
It's we kind of always expect like like when you hear an announcement, you always expect the game to come out, like right away. So I feel like it's kind of like a cash grab for them because like, why don't we just release the base game now, and then give them free DLC because they're gonna buy it either way if they really want to play the game,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But no, but they do make more money off this because
Exactly.
there's players like me who will, if a new, like Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter. We actually, me, Rasmey, Sonny, we play. Chris, I know you started playing.
I've played before.
You played on like our
Or, like,
account.
PSP.
Oh, you played
No,
the PSP version?
I played like it wasn't mine. I played with my friends.
Right.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
So it's a beautiful game. I have to say, it's really well done. There is a point where like you don't feel like playing anymore just because you've done a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I know there's still a lot I can do and I still want to do in that game. So I would love playing on games with friends. Anyways, enough about that. They recently announced something. Sorry, do you remember?
Monster Hunter Iceborne.
Iceborne, and they're pretty much putting in new enemies, new complete mechanic changes and shifts, which I think is amazing. But if they're changing the actual core gameplay of it and seeing it as how the game is not competitive at all, I feel like they should just update the game instead of making a DLC they have to buy. Now,
Right. How much does the DLC cost for that?
see,
$40.
and that's where
almost 40, yeah.
Almost 40.
But you get a lot of content.
So that's where I feel a little more okay. If it was like $20 for like, it's kind of pay $20 for a really cool, awesome upgrade. I'd be
Right.
okay with that. $40, that's still getting iffy. Because
So
at this
40,
point,
for 40, you're getting like basically, is it almost like sequel level content
Yeah.
but within the same game?
really,
Yeah.
really that much? I don't think it was that much.
you get
So-
a ton of stuff in the new DLC.
That's
Well, if
actually
it's a lot,
acceptable.
those-
That's kind of like the Skyrim model too.
Right.
Okay.
When they put out
Dawnguard.
Dawnguard,
and
yeah,
then,
and then the other like
Solstheim,
two and
there's,
stuff.
there's 3 in all.
Yeah.
Hearthfire, and then there's one more.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So-
Like this DLC is huge.
Right.
For real? Okay.
Mhm.
Then I might reconsider. I might change my opinion depending on what happens there.
Right.
I'll wait for other people to buy it, see how it looks,
Sure. Yeah.
and then I'll see.
It's not coming now.
I'll wait for my friends.
Whole entire viewpoint has changed now.
Okay, but even that, I'm still not okay with the idea. It's
Right.
just
So I have a really good example of pretty much DLC gone wrong.
oh yeah, let's hear this.
Final Fantasy 15, I believe came out 2015.
I don't
Riza?
remember.
You don't remember?
Is that what's called 15?
Yeah.
No, but we waited years for it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
so-
a lot of people.
It became
Yeah,
was
so
Final
pretty
Fantasy
much-
Versus.
When Final Fantasy 15 was released, I believe the director was pretty much forced to release the game by the company because they were already behind.
All
So
right.
when they released the game, it was pretty much just a mess. Like everyone who played it was just like, this game's trash. The story was not even complete.
Ooh.
So what they pretty much promised was they were gonna update certain parts of the game for free, but you'd also get DLC for like the different characters.
Okay.
I believe those were each like, if you get the season pass, it was $15, and I believe for each character's arc, it was $10.
How many
It was either
characters?
10 or $5
Four.
a pop.
There's
Yeah.
4 characters.
four
but-
main characters.
I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah,
That
so-
doesn't sound that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pretty much got like this broken game, right?
You have to pay to put the components together like a puzzle.
Yeah. So
That's the kind of DLC that's bullshit.
yeah.
See,
Yeah. So pretty much,
that's when it becomes
on
pretty much
top-
unacceptable.
yeah. So on top of the $60, you're paying like an additional a total of 75.
Yeah.
What kind of pissed me off like the
Wait,
most was
How much was it originally?
original base price was $60.
It
Without
was
no
four story
DLC.
arcs, $40. It's 100.
No,
Oh,
you'd
yeah,
be
you said season pass.
yeah, 15
Oh,
for
yeah,
season
yeah.
pass, so you'd be looking at around
So
75 total.
All right.
The issue I have is, I believe 2 years later, after they got all these fixes out, they released the same game, this time complete with all the DLC
Oh boy.
for $50.
Oh my god.
So you had people who
all
spent.
you had to do was wait.
Exactly.
because the demand was lower by then too.
Yeah, but
but they screwed over a bunch of people in the
right.
process.
So everyone who pays 75 is just sitting there, just kind of scratching their heads, just like what the fuck? Like you spent so much money
They got it.
just for them to re-release a game that's $50.
It just fixed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like this reminds me of a similar story that was actually a success story instead of a complete flop.
Is it Breath of the Wild?
No. It's still Skyrim. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So Skyrim was, and for those who don't know, like it's a prime example of the community going fucking ham on a game, right? There's fucking like trains flying around, choo choo,
I've seen that.
right? Like, choo choo, motherfucker. Okay, well, anyways, it's modding to the best, and I modded it a few times. I didn't mod it myself. I just used community mods and applied it to my game, right? And I did all sorts of crazy shit, and I loved it. Here's the thing. Just recently, I don't know what recently means in relative terms, I forgot, but they released a Skyrim edition that was moddable. Usually you had to crack the game a little bit. You had to you had to download like some third-party source stuff to affect the game, and it made it buggy and crappy as hell. Now they have Skyrim, like, I don't want to say remastered, but something else.
The definitive edition.
Yeah, definitive
something like that.
And they put it at a full $60. Same exact game.
I don't know how many times they re-released Skyrim on like every platform ever, but it's still like full price.
But no. Wait. But I will say this. If you only had the I didn't buy the original.
Skyrim.
I cracked it.
I bought it 3 or 4 times.
Oh wow, you fucked up.
Yeah.
So I
bought it,
only
like,
finally actually bought it, like myself, after the definitive edition came out, and I will say it's actually kind of worth it, because you have it's $60 for the same game. So let's assume you already had the game before and you paid for it. So you're paying an extra $60, but you're not just paying it for nothing. You're paying it for the possibility and accessibility to every single mod ever.
Mm-hmm.
You can now do all of it, and it's legal.
When it was released, it had like even better graphics too.
Oh yeah, they remastered, so now everything actually looks better, and it plays smoother, and like there's less bugs. I know, but even if we like disregard that, it's still pretty much the same game. But now they kind of gave the green light to what everyone was already doing. So I don't know. I think there's good and bad in it, but I feel like this was a really good decision on their part. And they sold it for full price, and a lot of people bitched about it at first, but everyone still bought it.
Yeah.
Right? And they didn't complain about it afterwards because it actually was worth it. It wasn't like, that's why I said this is more of a success story than it is
It kind of makes sense that it would be
Final
like
Fantasy 15.
60 because it's like it's not just the base game anymore. It's the remastered like graphics plus the 3 DLC like over time. So it's like over time the base game price is depreciated because the other stuff has been added in. It still equals like $60.
Oh, true. Okay,
so when you compound all the content that's been added on, $60 still kind of makes sense.
Well, yeah, okay, so that's fair. I didn't really think about that too. Yeah, it came with all the DLCs with it and everything.
Yeah,
there was.
It came with like everything.
It came with everything.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, but for me, it was definitely that whole aspect of now I can, through Steam, like through its own actual freaking thing, I can mod it and apply whatever I want to it.
Yeah.
Have like 5,000 vampires fight 5,000 werewolves. Like I could do shit.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless. But yeah, that's kind of like the good thing about having DLCs. It has a purpose, downloadable content. If they change the game and they want people to have it, like music tracks, other stuff, if it doesn't change the gameplay, I can understand it. But when the game is incomplete without DLCs that they're telling you to buy, I can kind of see how that's an extraneous. That's a weird circumstance.
Yeah.
Because that one is also because
he was forced to, publish it. But why would you publish an unfinished game?
Well, it's because they put out the trailer for it like years ago. It's like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay, but
they were like, it's coming this year.
How many years? How many years did Kingdom Hearts 15 wait?
15?
Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, wow, I said Kingdom Hearts 15.
So Final Fantasy 15 has...
Kingdom Hearts 15.
My bad.
It has like one of the... No, I think it came out...
For what? The trailer for Final Fantasy Versus?
Yeah, so...
that came out after...
Final Fantasy...
The one with Noctis, right?
He's Final Fantasy 15...
It looks so cool, right?
Had like the weirdest development cycle. So in 2008...
It came out 2016.
For
they released it.
Final Fantasy 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I believe...
This was right after 13. Final Fantasy 13.
Was it at? No, it was before. It was way before Final Fantasy 13.
Was there no 14?
Yeah, so
No, 14
so
is
what
like
happened was,
MMORPG kind of.
I believe,
That's
It
weird.
says development began in 2006 as
Yes.
a spin-off for PlayStation.
yeah,
for
so
my
PlayStation
God.
3, and it was called Versus.
2006?
It was called Versus
9
13.
years?
yeah, so
No, that's why.
so the
I
issue,
think we waited a long
the issue
time.
was
How much? About Kingdom Hearts 3. How many years did people wait for that?
Oh
10
man,
years.
They waited
No,
for
even
that.
longer than 10 years. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 2015. We didn't get Kingdom Hearts 3 until 2018, so 13 years.
Wait, so Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 20.
I think he meant 2005.
2005.
Oh,
2005. Sorry.
2015.
Oh, I was gonna say like, whoa.
So 13
Yeah.
years, 14
more
years.
recent than I
13
thought.
years.
All right, well then.
I mean, they
Final
like.
Fantasy 15 had
So-
like 4 more years.
Yeah, so, so
They
here's,
could have worked out a bit more.
yeah, here's the
Damn.
thing with Final Fantasy 15. It had like the weirdest development cycle. In 2006, it was released as a trailer under a game called Final Fantasy Versus.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
pretty
looked
much,
so good.
yeah. So pretty much, it
No,
was supposed to be.
Final Fantasy 13 came out before because the
Yeah.
the original title was Final Fantasy 13 Versus.
Oh,
That was the
Versus-
full title.
Versus
Oh yeah, yeah.
13 came out and then Versus.
Yeah.
they decided to branch off with like lightning. And
Yeah,
all
they
that.
rebranded it.
Yeah, they were going.
Oh, I
what
didn't-
they were
And then-
going to do was use, I believe, the Kingdom Hearts
Yeah, there's something.
team to create
Oh,
a Final Fantasy
Square
game.
Enix?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
they call
Mhm.
Final Fantasy 13 Versus.
Yeah.
Nakamura.
Yeah, but yeah, Tetsuya Nomura. He's a big name.
Oh,
in
you
Square
said a different
Enix.
name.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much,
Same thing.
yeah, pretty much as
That's my name.
yeah, so pretty much as time goes by, like you start hearing less about this game,
Yeah.
right? And so people will start getting a little bit worried. So pretty much what happened was they actually canceled that whole entire game,
What?
and they decided like we still have like the core parts of this game. Like what are we gonna
Right.
do?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what they decided was, why don't we just take this core game, build on it, and then just rebrand it as Final Fantasy 15. So that happened, I believe, 2015. So almost 10 years after they showed this amazing trailer, they're finally like, you know what, we're changing it. It's not 13 Versus anymore. It's Final Fantasy 15. But they also changed the director of the game to, I believe, Hajime Tabata.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
name. I think that's the name. So pretty much,
It's a long development
yeah. So
story.
yeah, but pretty much, Square Enix pretty much told him like, you only have 3 years to make this into a workable game. So he pretty much didn't have enough time either.
All right.
So I think in that sense, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because
Yeah.
he was kind of given this time frame that he had to, in 3 years he had to take this broken ass game, turn it into something that's at least playable. I mean, and he promised that.
And expectations were high too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with customer demand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
also
Yeah,
because
because
of
they
the
changed,
release of like the trailers and stuff.
Exactly.
Expectations were high.
No, like when the trailer came out though, like it was so good.
Oh
The
yeah,
music was good.
It was amazing.
Noctis was so cool. Like the way it was just like it was like so much hype, and then it took forever for the game to come out. And when it came out, it was a lot of people were disappointed.
Yeah,
It wasn't
It's-
finished.
it's-
People said it was good, but
But
not
it-
what they wanted.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's also because it took so long. So then
Mhm.
everyone's like, some people's expectations just kept going up. Like it has to be good.
Yes.
But then it
Same with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, man.
Expectations
Which-
were super high.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 turned out to be an average game
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah, so I was told. I mean, obviously, opinions were much more heated at the time. If anyone said a single thing bad about it, he got shot in the streets, but and like dragged around too. But let's be honest. It was I didn't play, it, but from what I've heard, overall, I've heard that it was a good game. Just not if you compared it to, or just not if you factored in the fact that it took so many years and compared to the hype. So it was a
Yeah.
good game, but it just wasn't what people expected.
I heard that it was a lot of just kind of playing through Disney movie plots.
Yeah, that
As
Wait, are we talking
Sora?
about Final Fantasy 15?
No,
Or
no,
Kingdom
no,
Hearts
Kingdom
3?
Hearts
Okay,
3 now.
occasionally now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So callback, right? Like what some people did not like about it, and other people did like about it was callback to all the movies and references and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I can see why people like that, and I can see why other people would be bored by it.
I was really hoping that it would put together the total clusterfuck of a story of a storyline.
Yeah.
That's like the whole. I mean, like there's one, and then like chain of memories, and then
Right.
who the hell knows?
Oh my
else?
god! Let
There's
me.
a lot.
There's a
I
lot.
actually, I actually have a little bit of a story. It's interesting. It's,
315.
it's only slightly related, and I'm actually not. I actually don't possess the full story. The people who do are actually under my presence. It's Rasmey and Sunny.
Yep.
But basically, yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not gonna get into all of it. There's a lot behind this, but I'm just gonna say just a little bit I know. And basically, I believe it was like 12 a.m. or like 1 p.m. And we're playing League like the idiots we are, but we stop. We get bored. We're tired. We don't want to like go through another game and try and all that.
Oh my god, why
So
are we
we're-
talking about this?
Because it's fucking hilarious. So we're just talking, and then I'm like, yo, I actually don't know the timeline. So he spends a good 1 hour, 1 fucking hour,
Wait,
explaining.
but was it the actual one or was it?
Yeah. It was
theirs?
it was the actual
Yeah.
one.
That's a fair question.
Well, the other game is definitely a
Was it Kingdom Hearts
parallel.
or was it
Kingdom Dreams.
Oh yeah, actually though that's
If you guys want to hear about that
that's still
story,
that's still in
that's for
development.
that's for another podcast.
That's kept under the wraps.
12 years.
That's a completely different episode. We'll
King of Dreams.
Don't worry about
Like
that.
like Sunny says, it's still in the oven, bacon.
Okay, well, anyways, he spent 1 hour trying to explain to me how there's a bunch of games, there's some spin-offs, telling me which games not to play if I ever got into it. Come back the next day, and I'm talking to Sunny now, and I'm like, yo, so I heard like this game was good, and then it goes like this, and then I'm going to, and Sunny's like, no, don't listen to Rasmey. It's just so much. I can just see how convoluted and complicated it is.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
stories haven't convoluted.
Because it was released in multiple parts, basically.
Yeah.
If you
But
ever watched
also
like
the
I never
timelines.
finished Birth by
Also,
Sleep.
the timelines don't always match up.
I just
Yeah.
think they're Monopoly. Like it was kind of like Monopoly. the
Yeah,
game.
so the way they release their games is not a perfect timeline. You actually have to like piece it together and just like listen to like
video.
interviews. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
interviews and stuff.
you also
that
told me like it
Nomura-
makes a lot more sense if you like go on YouTube and watch those hour-long like
Yeah.
I
mean,
did.
this game
What's
explained.
funny is like Donkey put out one too, and they said that he did a pretty good job. Even
Wait,
though,
what?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
in like 6 minutes or something. Like
What? Okay, I'll watch
convoluted.
that.
Yeah, it's like pretty funny. Like I would definitely recommend that one because that's how I know the story, kind
Oh,
of.
but yeah, but yeah. I mean,
I fucking love
I-
Video Game Donkey, dude.
Yeah,
I
he's awesome.
definitely love
This game
love that
is
series.
ass. Video game Donkey. Video game Donkey.
But yeah, the issue I have with Kingdom Hearts 3 is there's DLC.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Wait,
there
that
is?
DLC too?
Yeah,
there's DLC
and
coming.
the most stupid thing about it is there's
Wait,
really
didn't-
really nothing
Didn't
new.
they have 15 years or something?
Yeah, yeah. But the
When did they start having DLCs?
Holy shit!
I believe
DLC's been around for a while now.
since the PS3 came out, I believe, like since those generation of
As
consoles.
I
soon as
haven't
you
really
could,
been hearing
as
about
soon
them
as you could
until
have like an
recently.
internet connection and
Yeah.
download stuff to your hard drive
Yeah.
that like matches with your disc or whatever, that's when they had it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's
So-
because I didn't play computer.
Are you making a joke on the fact that it's technically downloadable content?
Yeah.
yeah, that's literally what
That's
it is.
literally what you do.
Down-
You
Oh,
download the
DLC.
content. Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were talking reference to gaming, not.
No.
No, like as soon as a fucking console had an internet connection and you could
Oh,
start
that's
downloading
what you're
stuff,
saying. Oh yeah, yeah.
then you
Yeah.
can do it. Or even like you can purchase DLC.
I thought you were making like a computer joke, like it's the beginning of time. I thought you were being a
elsewhere.
dick. Sorry.
No.
I believe the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 is literally just a cutscene
Yeah. No.
and
It's
a new
like,
Keyblade
Yeah, it's the
That's spicy.
Oathkeeper and just some cutscenes that
that they didn't release
not,
yet.
not even voice cutscenes, just text cutscenes.
Yeah,
Where
and it's $15.
Yeah.
So they gave
Wait,
you
you
words.
don't have the Oathkeeper in it?
no,
No.
you don't have Oathkeeper.
Wait, they gave
Oh
you
my God,
words.
Nobody
that game,
spoil anything,
that game
though.
is so stripped
I didn't
down.
play it.
You up until I feel like the very end of that game is when you have the most fun.
Oh.
Literally the whole entire game is just you kind of replaying tellings of Disney stories, which is ridiculous because in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 they actually tied it really well into like actual Kingdom
so,
Hearts.
so
Yeah.
it's not like the stories are alongside with it.
It's literally you're just playing through the Disney
The movie.
plot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so literally just
Okay,
think of
so
like,
now I understand the hate.
right, yeah, so literally just think of like Frozen.
Yeah. Okay.
Think of that whole entire movie.
Yeah.
And they literally just tape in Sora, Donald, and Goofy into a
They're just
cutscene.
there in the background.
Yeah, there's
They're
a literal cutscene where Elsa sings
Wait.
her song "Let It Go."
Wait, no, don't spoil anything.
It's not even a spoiler. It's literally from the movie, and then you get a cutscene of
Oh.
Sora, Donald, and
Oh.
Goofy just.
You know what? we'll just throw it in the
Uh,
description. Like,
Oh,
okay, there's
I-
no
I-
spoilers.
One more example. So there's a world. There's Tangled the movie, and literally you see
I heard,
the
I
movie.
heard people really like that one.
Yeah, it was good. But have you guys ever seen the movie? You ever seen like Eugene and Rapunzel? Like she's like going around and she's like all happy and then she
Yeah.
gets sad
Yeah.
because she just like disobeyed her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You basically stick Donald, Sora, and Goofy in those company with Eugene just standing there, and they're just all watching
That's
her react,
funny.
and
My boy, my
And it's
boy.
the same-
Is that it?
Yeah,
it's
my-
so stupid. Like I think I watched a YouTube video on it. Like they basically compare this two scenes.
What the hell
And
are
you-
they doing
love
all
it.
these
And all,
years?
and all you see
Exactly, right?
is just Sora, Goofy, and Donald just standing there while they're like reacting to what she's doing, and she's basically saying the same lines and everything. You guys gotta see this. It's on YouTube. We'll check it after the podcast, but
We'll link
I
it.
need to see this.
Yeah, we'll
it's
put
so
a link.
stupid.
Oh
And-
my god, it's the worst.
But yeah, DLC. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I feel like because a lot of game companies know that they have DLC as an option, they're like, why don't we just rush the hell out of this game, and then release DLC later and just have them buy it.
And
I feel like
make
that's,
more money out
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And obviously you want your customer base to be happy to buy with your stuff. However, if the demand is high enough for a game and they buy the game and it's incomplete without the DLC, you know that out of the people who bought the base game, 90 they're all gonna buy the DLC.
Most of them. Well, it doesn't really matter how much or like who they're. Basically, they're catering to the people that will pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's essentially like what they're doing. They're
Okay.
capturing a very like.
But what I'm saying is they're increasing the pool of how many people will pay for it if they're already invested in a game that's incomplete, and this can fix it. I can make your problems go away.
Yeah, when Sonny gets to chapter 3, he wants to get to chapter 4.
So he's gonna buy the. I need help on chapter 3.
Yeah, he needs it.
Yeah. Another good example of this is like just like using hype as a means to
yeah.
like
Yeah.
In that case,
get
they
them
were
to purchase the DLC.
they milked
Like-
that shit for 15
Yeah.
years.
Like
Yeah.
I want to say like I don't know. Did you guys love to play Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would buy the
Alright,
DLC every time.
Alright. At least for this, I'm gonna say. No
Did you guys
spoilers,
think it was-
'cause I still want to play.
It was worth it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil.
There's not
anything.
much
Well, I
spoilers
love
in that
the-
game, yeah.
You guys think-
Yeah.
It's more like Skyrim, where it's like open world. And you just
But
do
it was
Yeah,
also like
yeah.
it was just extra stuff that you could do, like
Yeah.
not just like expanding, like more shrines. It was just like
You could get a bike.
there's just more to do. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Wait,
and you can
there's
get
DLCs
you
for
can
that?
get hard
Mhm.
mode for the game,
There's
like
DLCs?
master mode.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like-
there's 2: Champions Ballad and
I thought it was just Champions Ballad.
oh, is it just that one?
And how
No,
much is
there's-
that?
Aren't
No,
there
it's
2?
Champions Ballad, and then
What was it?
the trials, the sword trials. To get
Trials.
the-
Oh, yeah.
to-
Oh
to-
yeah,
to
yeah,
buy
yeah.
the
Yo, I
master
did that.
sword. Yeah.
Alright, so
Honestly,
how many are those? And like,
There's
how
2.
much?
They're 20 each, I think.
Yeah.
But you can also. I think
Those
there's
are like
one
pretty
they
worth
could
it
buy-
though.
But they were definitely worth
Yes.
it. The game was so good.
So yes, I mean
Also-
looking.
What? No, you can go. Because like both of the DLCs, when you get them, the game is still like challenging, like with the new stuff
Yeah.
they give you, and then the option of playing on master mode if you wanted. Because like the game's, it's not that hard, I guess.
Mhm.
But if you play it on master mode, the enemies like regenerate while you're fighting them.
Breath
And
of the
there's-
Wild.
It's just a good game. I love that game.
Breath of the
I would
Wild.
totally buy the
I
DLC.
guess that's an example for you, like a good
And
DLC.
because like
That-
someone mentioned before, like you have to for 15, you said you can get like each of the 4 like main characters like backstories or whatever.
Yeah, but that's through the
The DLC. Yeah, that's like the opposite
'Cause-
of
yeah,
Breath
'cause
of the Wild.
they're,
'Cause you
like-
get the Champions Ballad, and it's like the 4.
Yeah, because like
champions
in the
stories.
base game,
All those
for
short.
Final Fantasy 15, each one of the characters end up like disappearing from your party, and you don't really know what happens. The only way for you to know what happened is buy their character DLC.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
that.
so,
Learn
you,
it that
so you're
way.
literally just buying the last chapter of their books?
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Pretty
fuck?
much.
That's what is like bullshit about that like
What?
that
Yeah.
model of. See, the cool thing about Breath of the Wild DLC and the reason why their model works is because the DLC makes the game harder, more challenging, more time to invest playing it.
More difficult
More
levels,
rewarding.
pretty much.
And
Whereas
just-
other ones
yeah.
is like you're literally paying to make the game easier, so you can
Well,
go on,
not
like,
easier,
power
but
trip.
like just complete.
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay, so I'm talking about like. Well, I guess I'm getting more into like the microtransaction
Oh,
side
true,
of
true.
things.
Understood. Got it.
Because if you're buying like the best gun in the game or something like that, that's what.
I think that's also why Skyrim was such a success, because
Yeah.
they had a complete game and all it did was add more content for you to
Right.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
that was
exactly
wild.
like
yeah,
Breath of the
Breath
Wild.
of
Breath of the Wild was literally like you literally got the complete game. You didn't get any like bullshit where they're like, oh, here's some more cutscenes to help
Yeah.
like
Help
fill
you
in some of
understand
the plot
what the fuck is
line.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the Champions Ballad, the only thing it would do is like, other than like giving you more shrines and like the champions like quests to find out what happened with them, I guess.
Mhm. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
adding more story is
Yeah.
always better, but it's,
Mhm.
without it, the game is still. You love the game without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love
that's
it,
true.
and you love it more with it.
Oh yeah.
And
And you
I've,
can
I've-
understand
Because-
it.
I've
the
been
game-
sold since our very first episode. I've been sold on it. I'm like, I need to get that game.
Yeah.
That and Persona 5.
Ooh,
Guys,
you
slow
play
down.
Persona
No,
5.
no.
Slow down. Oh wait. All
You
right.
should play Breath of the Wild. I feel like you
Yes,
would like that one
you
more.
should play
both.
You would like
Why
that
not
one
both?
more.
Okay, y'all been ragging on me for like.
When Persona 5 R comes
also
out.
have
Yeah, dude,
Mario
fuck Persona
still.
5. Get R. Like, that is basically like DLC in itself, but it's like a whole new game.
Okay, so
That's the best
this
way to
is-
do
Uh,
DLC.
explain what the fuck is
This
going
is
on
where
here.
this is where DLC gets us. So when you love a game so much that you're willing to buy the same
same
exact
game.
game with
With
extra
more-
stuff.
Yeah.
See, if I buy this, I'll still feel happy at heart knowing that I didn't fall for it because I didn't play the original.
Well, they've done this for years. Like, they've done this for, like, Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did
Persona
for
3,
P3.
Persona 3 Fest.
Yep.
Yeah. So this
Fast.
model's been going on for a long time.
What about Persona 2?
Persona 2, Persona
Nah.
1.
That was before.
No, Persona 2, it was split into 2 games.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
2 and
Part
2.
1, Part 2?
Yeah, part 1, I think it was like Innocent Sin. Part 2 was like something else.
Oh, okay. I can give you
Persona
guys a
1 is
model
fine.
of when that
Oh,
works.
and Persona 1 has DLC. The Ice Queen DLC. That's for
How-
only for
how
the
old is
PSP
that?
version.
How
Oh,
old
it's,
is that?
oh, it's only for the PSP. That's why.
So that's PSP. That
Yeah.
could connect to the internet, so that works.
Alice,
My
the
theory still
I
tricky,
think it just
tricky
depends on how they
bastards.
use the DLC.
Yeah.
I can. So you mentioned. So this I didn't really think about. It's like a game that's split into multiple parts.
Like the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Hey, that one's different though.
That's DLC for movies.
Oh my god.
Why did we let
Part-
Warner
part
Brothers get
one-
away with that?
Part 1 and part 2.
Okay, slow
No,
down.
well,
slow
they
down.
were
So
Wait,
Hobbit, 1, 2,
okay.
3.
How do we not realize
Okay,
this?
slow down.
Right? No.
Slow down. Slow down.
That's a
I
revolution.
can defend this.
Hold on, let Riza. Let Riza.
All right,
get
all right.
her thoughts in.
I'm just saying, you can't come up Lord of the Rings and Hobbit like that.
Okay, no, I
I love those.
Okay, I can.
I haven't seen those yet, so
Okay,
like,
no,
I don't
I
know.
can defend it. So Harry Potter and like whatever, they're completely. The content is completely different. It's
Yeah.
as if they're two completely separate movies. It's just that they share a certain character or a certain set of characters or a timeline
But didn't-
for you to connect to.
But didn't like
7
one
and 8.
of didn't one of the books
the last
weren't
book
they, wasn't
turned
it split
into
into
two
like
movies?
2 parts?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Deathly Hallows.
I'm getting to that. The Hobbit. The Hobbit is one book.
Yeah, it's
3
a
movies,
it's like
right?
a prequel.
3 movies.
3 movies,
Three
yeah.
They split into 3 movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a trilogy.
Okay, so
If you look at the
I
thickness
watched all
of
of
The
them in
Hobbit,
theaters.
I think it's actually thinner than than the other 3 books. Which,
Well, yeah, the Hobbit. It's actually a lot
Sounds like
shorter.
DLC.
yeah, it's shorter.
okay, so
Which is
my
interesting.
defense isn't complete, of course. It's just it's a paper shield that I'm giving them, and that is
Someone has to defend them. Beat that shit.
I'm just trying to play the other side here, and I'm just saying sometimes and oftentimes, all the time, people get angry about and they say things like the book was better or they didn't have this part or didn't have that.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much content. A movie
Yeah.
format versus a physical word format. There's so much more information contained in the letters and the words. Even if there's an extra dimension, the vision associated with the movie. So I can see why they would stretch out the movie so they can encompass as much as possible.
Yeah, if you treat
So-
it as like a sequel in your head, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's basically
But they
because-
realize it's bullshit. It's gonna be like one
so
whole thing.
how I'm defending is what I want to bring up a really good example of why instead of having 1, 2, 3, you have a 1, a 2, and a 2 like a remake or not remake but like a second part is the Ezio trilogy for Assassin's Creed. Played Assassin's Creed 1, great story, gameplay was meh. I played Assassin's Creed 2, 2 Brotherhood, and 2 Revelations. It split into 3 parts. And then I played Assassin's Creed 3 and I fucking hated it. And now I'm trying the new ones and I know like they're good and bad or whatever, but I hated the third one. Turns out I was not attached to the overall story, I was attached to the Ezio character.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
all right, sorry.
I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard the movie's trash.
For a
My
Yeah,
dad
it
was
was
watching it. Yeah.
Okay, anyways, back to the
Oh,
story.
yeah.
I must say that the Ezio trilogy was a complete success. And the reason it was a success and I wouldn't treat it like DLC is because it was literally 3 separate games.
Yeah, I
3
wouldn't treat that as DLC
completely
either.
separate games. The only thing in common was almost like a movie because I mean it's a very story-driven game. It was
Yeah.
almost like a movie where in the first one Ezio's young and you're put into certain situations.
Yeah.
In the second one, he's in his prime, and that's when you're going around fucking killing everything, and like it's amazing. And then you recruit more people. And then the third one was much better, Revelations, and that's because, it wasn't much better. It was great because you're old as fuck, and the trailing missions, you it wasn't like you had to walk slowly behind someone. You ran after them. You parkoured after them.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
And they added a little bit of flavor to the game. Unnecessary, but I liked it. You don't jump as far as a character you're trailing. your running animation is slightly slower, like because you're older and it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
However, later in the game, you get like an extra thing to your climbing ability, which gives you a little bit extra, range, and basically that just puts you on par with everybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was
Oh,
funny.
that's cool.
It was an addition that they didn't have to have, but it was nice.
But
And-
I mean, like even then, you see it in a franchise like Assassin's Creed, who has also just kind of went into like a pay to win mode.
recently, yes, and
Yeah.
all the later games, like they're either complete shit, they're buggy. I got Assassin's Creed Unity for free because, of like the deal they had. But it was a complete ass game. I know some of the new.
Notre Dame. That's why we got for free.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say after.
You got that for free?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. So
Because when Notre Dame burned
Because of
down.
the actual burning?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
there was an 80% or 90%.
Oh, I remember seeing that on the news.
It's
actually.
either
They
80 or
talked about
90% perfect model of the
Yeah.
Notre Dame in Assassin's Creed and
Honestly?
Ubisoft, however you say it.
Super
It's like,
cool.
Yeah,
free
I
game.
actually remember
Super
seeing
cool of
that.
them. Shitty game.
That game was
Cool
buggy as a
model.
motherfucker.
Okay, look.
It should have been an art demo.
Like a
It
VR
should-
thing.
Yeah, they should have made it. They should have turned it around, used the thing to make it like a street, like a
VR
Google
tour.
Street view or whatever
Oh,
for
true.
like VR.
Yeah, VR tour.
And then you could still be a character, so you'd be running around.
Yeah.
Stab-
Stabbing
life.
people.
Kill him with your eyes.
Wait.
Wait.
We're asking. We're
You
looking.
know that?
We're looking at this the wrong way. We should ask Google Maps
To make a virtual.
to use frickin' Ubisoft or whatever to have people not only drag the screen around to see where they go, but to have like a character they can run around and jump on stuff with.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But okay,
But
do you know how
isn't
long
that
it
just a
would take to
game?
render?
Yeah.
That'd be such a cool.
Also, I don't think
undertaking,
they would
though.
do that because they're trying to keep it. You want it to be like real things. Like you want it to be accurate.
Okay,
You want to
well,
show up and
well,
be like, I'm
they would
finally
only-
here to
they would
see
only start with
Notre
iconic
Dame burn
things.
down.
Fine, they'll only start with iconic things like
Honestly,
the Taj Mahal, the Great Wall of China, like just things.
this is like
Take a
huge-
virtual tour.
Yeah,
That has to be a
virtual
separate
tour.
thing.
It's a huge opportunity for Ubisoft, like because they were able to replicate it in such a high like degree.
Mhm.
If you did put on like a VR headset and you could just like have a controller in one hand and
Yeah.
just walk around and like view everything, that'd be cool.
All right.
This is for the people that are never gonna. Maybe they like don't have legs, and they can't like go.
I'm not sure you're supposed to laugh after you said
walk,
that.
walk around to like. Maybe it's an extreme case, but still valid. They can't walk to the thing, so they want to go see it. They're like, "Oh, let me just put on my VR headset and here we go."
Okay.
Or maybe someone's like scared of flying.
I'm scared of walking.
They're scared of
Wait.
flying.
Oh.
So they can't go.
For some reason, I thought you were
I like how
saying
we
that they're
started-
scared of flying, so they'll do the VR thing of them flying.
No,
I was
no.
like,
we
that
started-
sounds terrible.
We started at such an extreme measure, and then we
We're a
were
little
what,
bit
maybe he's
further
scared of flying.
I brought it down. a little bit.
You gotta be fair. You gotta be fair to everybody. You know?
Maybe
Yeah.
they're poor.
Now you-
Maybe they're poor, but they can afford a VR headset. Figure that one out.
Oh my god.
It came free with their phone. They had a deal like that before.
Oh, that's pretty sweet, actually. Yeah,
That's what we did when
the
we
Samsung
switched.
one.
No, yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Okay, back to DLCs. Yeah, Ubisoft and like Assassin's Creed just fucked up. Like
Yeah.
now I just
Yeah.
now all the reviews I hear are just mixed. People love it, people hate it.
It's got something for everybody.
Ooh.
9.5.
You
IGN?
can't satisfy everyone. though,
Shitty
that's
game,
why.
but it's got something for everyone. 9.5.
9.5.
we got a little something for everyone.
that's another donkey reference.
But I mean, going back to like the whole entire like Assassin's Creed trilogy, I think the new Final Fantasy VII that's coming out,
Oh yeah.
they're planning on splitting it into parts as well.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah, so you won't be
Isn't
able
to-
Final Fantasy VII already game? Aren't we on
Yeah.
15 now?
No,
So
no.
they're-
No, but
they're
they're
remaking
remaking
it.
it.
Yeah,
It's
the
gonna look
remake.
good. It looks good.
Oh,
It
just-
looks
just-
so good.
Just like the Versus thing looked good and then turned into Final Fantasy
No, no,
15.
but if you look at the original 7, like
It looks
was
like
blocky.
shit.
They were
Dude, yeah,
blocky.
if you like
They've put 2019
Polygons?
graphics in the game.
Polygons.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally what they are.
Okay,
They're
like
just polygons
everyone
put together.
knows Tifa. Everyone loves Tifa because Tifa
Yeah.
has big boobs.
I don't know that one.
Who's
I
Tifa?
like
I
her
don't
for
know
her
who Tifa is.
personality.
Sonny, get out of here.
She's split personality.
She's got sort of
like,
duality.
Cloud
One-
had, like,
one and
Cloud
two.
had, like, box
She must be a
arms.
Gemini.
He had like box
Yeah,
arms.
you're
She has some
like
sort of
this.
duality. She has like
Yeah.
two
It
sides
was
to
still
her.
a Minecraft character.
And they're both
Yes. But yeah,
Two
I'm
sides of the same
guessing-
coin.
Okay, I'm guessing you haven't seen the trailer, right? Or
No, I have no idea what the fuck.
Have you guys seen it?
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sunny watched the shit out of that one.
So
Yeah,
here's one of the
so
dudes that they
definitely-
showed to you.
definitely give it a make.
Cheers.
So I mean, so the I believe the original game was split into 2 discs, but that was because
It's a long ass game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it on
for
PSP
PS1
though.
hardware.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
capability, like
Yeah.
CDs and stuff were just
I
like
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. So, but they were still releasing that as one whole game. Just two separate discs that you have to insert when you need to switch to the other game.
I feel like they should do the same for this one instead of doing
So
two separate things.
So their reason, from what I heard, for splitting it into parts is because consumer demand.
Because they know everyone's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
know
hell
we're
yeah.
gonna buy it
They
3
know
times.
I'm gonna
Final
buy
Fantasy
it.
7 is one
And-
of like the most.
That's why they.
Yeah.
That's why they did
Wait, really?
Harry Potter and the Hobbit too.
Yeah, that's
Because
one of their biggest games.
yeah.
Wait, slow
And,
down.
like-
Slow down. Final Fantasy 7. Sorry, Final Fantasy 7 is like the iconic Final Fantasy game that everyone
Yeah,
like,
it's one of
loves.
One
it's
of
like,
them.
It's
Yeah,
one of their
it's
most. They
the
even had a
Final
movie
Fantasy.
for it, Advent Children.
That was
I don't
good.
know.
I have it on DVD.
It was good.
You
Me
wanna
too.
watch
Me too.
So,
I do too.
because I have Final Fantasy 10, I'm almost done with it.
That one's my favorite, but that's because it was the first one
Oh, I
I
love
played.
Final Fantasy X.
All right, but you're saying that Final Fantasy 7 is a definite.
Yeah, a
Because
lot
all
of
of
people
the
talk
Final
about it.
Fantasy games.
Because
are
like I
different
have like
stories.
thousands of unplayed games I still need to play, but and yet I still ask for
Yeah, I wanna-
recommendations.
You actually
I
named a
wanna
lot I've
say-
never played.
Within the past
heard
within the past 10 years, fans have always been asking for a remake for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Oh, so the
'Cause they
demand is
made-
already there.
So yeah, so
Seven-
when they released the trailer, it was so hype and everyone was so excited.
All right.
Yeah, it's because if you see
Is
what
there a release
what
date?
gameplay and what 7 looked like before, and then when they released even like 8 and 9 and stuff,
Wait, so
they
yeah.
looked a lot better.
So-
And then when they got to 10, you know how real mode and stuff looks so good. That's what they're doing with like the new one
Huh.
now, and they're remaking. It's like
It looks like
everyone you can see
significantly
everyone.
better
Are you
Yeah,
saying
it looks-
that in the
crazy.
event that something happens, they change developers? They're just gonna use the raw data from the old 7?
I think 15, no, 15 was just a special.
And just
case,
slap
I
on
think.
some extra people.
Yeah, 15.
15 was a special case.
15 was stuck in some type of development hell.
So I'm just saying,
Like some cycle.
if
Yeah,
they
you
do
should
need to,
go. You should go home, watch the trailer for when they first released the 15 one though, and be like, "Yo, that looks cool."
We're gonna put all these links in the description too.
do we
Yes,
need to
we
use
did.
YouTube all
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, we'll put the YouTube links in for the lazy.
But
Links
like
for the
I would
lazy.
do. I
Okay,
would
but see,
still
I'm
buy it.
lazy.
I
Do I
don't.
want to put those links in?
I'll put it, buddy.
All right, thanks, man.
There's a lot of games I need to buy. It's coming out this year.
There's a lot of
No,
good games coming out.
The 7 remake. No, it's coming.
They
It's
just
coming out the same time. This is the issue. I think it's coming out around the same time Persona 5 The Royal's coming
Oh
out.
fuck.
Which isn't. Yeah, this problem. That's like.
I gotta buy
$100 bucks.
both.
I've
I'd
never
buy
played
both.
Persona.
I guess I have to.
God damn, you guys are
I would get both.
trash people.
See,
Like,
this is
you guys
this is
are
how
the
they get us,
reason-
man.
I would
Yeah,
not,
but-
but that's because I've never played Persona.
Yeah. See. Once you
know
see the
if I'd like
trailer
it.
for how
Oh, yeah, I
good
think
Final
you'd like
Fantasy
it.
7
You would
looks.
love it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm just gonna assume right off the bat
I
that
mean,
old
I
Final
guess I
Fantasy
have
7
to
is
try.
like really old
Yeah.
graphics, really old.
Yeah.
whatever.
Think of like
No, he
polygonal
had
dudes.
boxed
They're like this.
arms.
Yeah,
Like, they were
you see-
literally just like generic, like
No,
shapes.
Yeah.
but that's pretty realistic.
No, no, dude.
Yeah, you can work out
No,
yourselves to turn.
but
No, I'm
like-
kidding.
You gotta
If you
look up
look
a
at-
picture of this shit. It's crazy.
Oh,
I'll put up for
it's
you right
amazing.
now.
All right. I'm gonna take a quick look at this.
And then we'll show you the remake one. And
Oh man,
The difference-
So good.
So wait, does Tifa just have like cubes on her?
It's like
Look, this person even
Triangles.
put a picture.
Yeah, you can tell. Sonny did his
Wait.
research.
Excuse me. Is that the before and after?
she's
of the
there
Yeah.
with the character model.
Yeah,
This is the
they're
difference.
remaking and they look
This
so.
this is how he's gonna
There's
look in the
absolutely
actual
no different. I'm kidding. Okay, actually,
Get outta here.
that looks.
movie. Unless both your eyes.
No, look
see
at his.
different things.
Look, you can see his shoulders in
I can
this
see
one.
why they look the
Look
same.
at his shoulders. They're
They're
just
just-
big circles, and his arms are just.
Yo, those
small.
look like a cannonball, dude. You could like pluck that off, and that's like a plastic, like a toy.
You should post.
It's like
you
when
should
you
post
look
that
at
picture
like
on
models
there
of
too.
like.
Oh, yeah.
joints.
link in the description.
Okay, well, I don't know if you have rights to that, but if we do, if,
I'll just draw it.
This is.
we'll just draw a 3D cube
Yeah.
and say
Oh,
that was a
here,
shoulder.
You can see all of him.
Yo,
Like, for the- when they
yo,
came
he
out,
looks like a
though.
RuneScape character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically,
It
yeah.
came out-
Legit. No,
he-
the background, the art style,
1997.
everything.
When it came out
Yeah.
though, it was like really good.
It
Like, it was
legit
one
looks
the
like
one-
RuneScape too.
Yeah, it looked really good.
And then the
1997.
and the new one looks like it looks pretty fucking good actually.
Yeah, it looks like 2019 graphics, man.
Yeah, they're like real.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so question about that: was the gameplay good?
Oh, it looks
seven?
really good.
And they're splitting into 3 parts.
I don't know how many parts they're splitting it into.
But why would they do that? That's my question.
The money. Or
Yeah,
maybe it's
and-
just so fucking big. That they
Yeah, so it came
Like
out.
maybe they'll
the-
change, like add some things.
Yes.
Because like
true.
when they
Even
had it
then,
originally,
like-
it had to be like shorter also because there's.
So why don't they just make that DLC like make the game and have DLCs to finish the game?
I don't know. Maybe they will.
Maybe because they knew Final Fantasy.
we
13 was
around
complete-
certain. We just have to see what they
Final
do.
Fantasy 13 was a complete
I
flop.
mean, it could
Sorry,
change.
15.
Who knows? I mean, there are definitely people who liked
I
15.
think the reason why they said they want to split into parts is so that they can make development easier, because
I think
it's supposed to be, the original Final Fantasy VII was really big already, so I guess they really want to like make sure the world is realized.
All right, fair.
You should watch them as squares. Like,
Yeah, that's why they want to release it into parts.
All right.
And that way it gets into consumers' hands a lot faster.
My skepticism just because like, what if this turns out to be another like you end up having to paying a lot more for just a basic game?
Oh yeah, there's always a chance that the game could just be ass.
Yeah.
and I'd still buy it.
Yeah, that's true.
So why don't you guys like wait a week?
For IGN, it's got a little something.
Definitely gotta buy it.
That's not
now.
what I'm saying. But like, wait for like Donkey to review.
Yeah, wait for Donkey. I trust him.
Or just.
I'm
But
just
he-
gonna buy day one then.
He doesn't
I
even
would
like
still buy it.
story-driven games that much,
Huh?
Yeah.
so he might not be the best
Okay,
source
no.
for like RPG.
Okay, no, that's fair. But like, just wait for other people to buy it. Wait for some reviews.
Hell no, I'm
Not
buying
I would
shit.
still buy it.
I'm buying shit
that's
straight up.
But that's also because we like grew up like playing.
Yeah,
We played them when
that's
we were
fair.
younger.
Like,
There's like a
Capitalize on nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same with Kingdom Hearts.
like a
Like
drug.
people
Yeah.
were like they looked forward to 3 so much because everyone grew up playing 1 and 2.
And so everyone has different experiences, right? So everyone
Yeah.
has different nostalgia about different things. That's why this cycle continues.
Okay,
For the
so
Microtransactions,
Microtransactions,
DLCs.
Yeah.
They keep getting us.
but like if we refer to this as a drug, then the drug you guys are trying to take is nostalgia.
It's
Whereas
happiness, actually. I'm just kidding.
okay, but
Happy drug.
whereas the issue with people, like not people, but the issue with the gaming community, or at least the development community now is, they're not capitalizing on nostalgia to give you that that high or that rush. It's now what is it? Incompletion
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just
I hate that model.
competition.
Yeah, which
Comparison. Is that word? Is that now?
yeah, I mean
It just depends. I mean, because we've talked about a whole slew of different like games and like developers and stuff like that. It really comes down to who's making the game and who's buying the game.
right.
Yeah.
Because the people making it will make it for the people that want to buy it and spend more and more money on it, right? So like Nintendo and Breath of the Wild, and then we talked about Bethesda and Skyrim. Like Bethesda's really turned a corner with their microtransactions and stuff like that, and it's kind of heading towards like the
Shit,
EA,
yeah.
Ubisoft sort of path, which is not good.
Well, I mean, I feel like everyone's turning to that because once one person doesn't get
But
shit
not-
on,
not
they
Nintendo,
slow
though.
down. But
It's
Nintendo's huge, and
Yeah,
they
we-
make money regardless.
yeah, because like the stuff that they put out is like really quality, and so
Like I've never had the DLC issues that you guys have been talking about, like the microtransactions.
Yeah.
Other than the one phone game that I play.
And you only spent $2.
I've only ever paid for.
But
like,
you're like a
DLC
big time Nintendo
Yeah.
kind of person. Like
true, most
the
things.
So am I.
Other
But
than
even
fi-
if I wasn't,
It's like the only
Nintendo.
non-Nintendo I guess.
I think this comes down to like Nintendo actually has the opportunity to do it and make a lot more money, but they won't because not only do they command the demand of the people,
Yeah.
they also command the respect of the people.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
By the people, I'm referring to the gaming community.
Because
Because fucking
they're-
Mario, man.
They do because
they
they have a
kinda-
few things that are kind of annoying, but
Oh, of course.
the
I mean, everyone
games that they put out make up for it.
Yep.
Like,
Mario
I wa-
Odyssey.
Yeah, and then you have
I
like
want to play Odyssey. I want to play Breath of the Wild. I said it in the first episode. I'll say it again.
So good, dude. Buy yourself a Switch.
Okay,
he's
see,
going
that's step
to.
one.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm no update yet, but I'm
I can lend
very-
you my
very
Odyssey.
soon.
Oh, nice.
I already
Yeah.
beat it. Actually, I have 6 moons left.
you.
That's true. Yeah, you could like borrow Odyssey or Breath of the Wild from one of us. Like
Yeah.
I know we have it.
Our identity.
You just need the
Switch.
They're gonna come out the next one. I'm still gonna buy both of them.
Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out.
Yeah, I was watching
Or
the
in
trailer
development.
stuff the other day. I was
Good.
like, oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Is a new Pokemon coming out?
Wait,
People,
for real?
have, people are having a problem with
Yeah.
that though.
I don't.
People are
Yeah,
having
it doesn't have the national dex, and then the art style isn't like.
I kept seeing memes about that.
Yeah.
I really
Wait,
wanted it to look like
what's up? What?
You can
national.
only use
It's like
certain.
it doesn't have the full Pokédex from the whole
All the
series.
gens.
And I think that's where DLC is gonna come in.
Oh, you gotta
Perhaps.
buy. Oof, oof.
I don't know if they would do
Don't do
Because
that.
it's like strictly the region, right, of the game. The
So it has like Galar Pokemon for sure. Like obviously it would
Yeah.
have like all the Galar Pokemon.
Right.
But the problem is that they're picking and choosing Pokemon from each generation and putting them in there. So it's not like they're skipping whole generations entirely, which might be more understandable. They're actually picking and choosing like maybe popular or
maybe
like
or
select
maybe
Pokemon.
maybe just kind of the scope of the game. They just don't want a bunch of Pokemon that are not going to show up in the game at all
It
to
could
be
be.
in the Pokédex. You know.
Yeah, it could be.
maybe
It could be.
But yeah.
Maybe they're just switching it up. So, quick recap on microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff like that. I think we all, as a whole, kind of came to. I mean, we're all similar people, but at the same time, I think we all agree that it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Riza, you said you didn't have any like negative association with it, really.
Because the games I play, like even if they do have the option, like even if you play free, you still get pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you have something called self-control.
Okay. I also have something called no money.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I tried to play devil's advocate for some of it. I really can't defend this shit.
It's hard to.
But
Yeah.
some of them I can, like for some of the games and like movies and other stuff, like I could.
Yeah,
but,
like it makes sense.
but,
like,
but realistically, yeah, I agree. Like it's getting insane and it's getting normalized. So I'm with you guys. So
Yeah.
it kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
Like
Yeah.
the new It movie.
Gamers rise up.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
the It
Okay,
movie was
the issue is the
originally
gamers won't rise
already
up because
split
we're the ones
into
paying the
Oh,
money.
I see.
Exactly.
I guess I never saw the second one.
While it's rise up.
But the book is like it's just one big book.
Like every Steam summer sale, and I'm a victim
Scary.
Yeah.
or offender. I don't know which.
I got an email during the recording of this that like my friend Pablo or whatever is like on sale right now, so I'm thinking about checking.
Oh,
Yo,
the
my friend
banana
Pablo,
game?
the
The
banana
banana
game with
guy?
Pedro.
Oh yeah, my friend Pedro, that's what it is.
Oh,
Said my
Pedro,
friend
yeah.
Pablo.
Yeah, Pablo. That's one of those keys.
That's the one Henry. That's the one our friend
Yeah.
keeps saying.
Also,
That's what. Yeah.
just stop buying EA games, guys.
Stop buying EA, stop buying Ubisoft.
Yeah. You know what EA stands for? Early access.
Really?
No.
but
Electronic
it's just-
Arts.
you get what it's saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think.
hopefully you guys enjoy
And
this.
not only that, but we
Yeah.
we actually started talking about
See
some
you
of
guys
the games that we liked and some things were Sonny, sit back down. Some games we would like to see in the future and what we're gonna see. However, there's one thing I would like to ask or address. And that's Riza. We've done this with our other guests, and you already know about this. But our first episode was talking about our top favorite games or impactful games that affected us or whatever. We wanted to ask a couple of yours, and we gave you a few minutes to think about it. So,
Oh, okay. So, I guess you could tell from when we were talking. My first one would have to be Breath of the Wild. At this time, it's so fun. Like every time, even after I've beaten it and I've done everything, I still go back and I still have fun.
Nice.
My second one, I guess, would have to be Final Fantasy X. But that's because like I grew up like watching me and my sister would hide in my brother's room to watch him play. And then third would be Ocarina of Time because that was my very first Zelda video game, but maybe just video game in general.
Wow.
oh, for real? Yeah.
Which one? Twilight Princess?
Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
So you
Twilight Princess, that was like way later.
Oh, man, they're all good games. Though.
Yeah.
all right.
That's all
So,
good.
I
I
mean,
would,
but
like-
you also mentioned you like Zelda's like kind of your thing.
Yeah, I would throw in like all the Zelda games. I played a bunch of Final Fantasy ones too.
So
And
those
they're
are
all
probably
good,
two
too.
good.
Actually,
two-
the
two-
only Final Fantasy game like I would have to say I really do not like is like 3.
13.
3.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
have
like
that
10.
one. 3. I only got
No,
it
I
because
don't
you
like
could
2.
change like your classes, I guess. But it's
I
so
love 3.
boring. I didn't even finish like any of it.
I beat that game.
Wait, what number was I on?
Number one.
You only
Three?
mentioned
Tres.
you only
You said
mentioned
three, yeah.
you mentioned
Oh,
Final
okay,
Fantasy
yeah.
series and then the Zelda series.
Yeah, and then 4, I would put Kingdom Hearts 2 there because I played that for a long time, like when it came out. Because I played in like middle school.
Did you play
Am
for
I-
like 15 years until?
No.
Am I the
It's
only
just-
You said a
one?
long time.
Am I the only one that likes Kingdom Hearts more? Kingdom Hearts 1 more than Kingdom Hearts 2?
I actually never played the first
I
one.
love Kingdom
I
Hearts
started
2.
with the second
Oh,
one.
I feel like the Kingdom Hearts 2 was the battling was more like actiony than Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
my
1.
brother thought
I
2
feel
was
it
like their peak.
Yeah, I feel like 2 was a little bit too easy though
Yeah.
compared to 1.
Well, 1 was a little hard. But
One was
okay,
hard,
continuing.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the last one, I can't really think about like what one of my other favorite games because I put all the Zelda ones together and most of the Final Fantasy ones together. Those are like my main games. Oh, I just put in like Mario. Like I played Mario Odyssey on like that was my first Switch game, and I did like all of that. I'm only missing like 6 moons. So
Out
because
of,
it
out of how many?
was 900, I think.
What the fuck? Wow.
Riza is a big time completionist.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
only ones
I
I don't have are like the
can't do it.
stupid
Yeah.
the challenge like jump rope. You have to jump 100 times, or like you have to. It's just the stupid hard ones that take like time and patience and skill I don't have.
Like
but
Riza,
I just hardcore. play.
Hardcore completionist.
yeah, Riza may not have like the breadth of gameplay that we
She
have,
has
but
the
she
But I
breadth.
has
like
a
focus
depth.
on one.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's
Yeah,
super
like Breath
deep.
of the Wild. I
I
have.
can just imagine her playing Skyrim.
I
Like,
have,
we
like,
should be able to
everything
play
done.
Skyrim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
you
would
guys
love
always
Skyrim
say.
actually.
Yeah, I like the open world games a lot. Cause like
Yeah, you would love
I
it.
just like playing I just like doing whatever. It's fun.
That's true.
I'm gonna hit Breath of the Wild soon enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you should.
for sure.
I love I think Ocarina of Time was my number one before cause I played that for like I sucked at it. I was actually really bad at it. My brother had to do a lot of the stuff for me because I was little when I played it, and the zombies scared me. But like Breath of the Wild, it was so fun. It was so good.
Hey.
There's always so much to do. I also watch videos on YouTube. Like I rarely watch YouTube videos on anything, but I watch like gameplay for Breath of the Wild because people are like still finding fun things you can do.
Yeah.
There's always something new.
Yeah, that's all. Well, thank you very much for coming on and talking microtransactions and DLC with us. I got a
Awesome.
little.
Thanks for sharing your favorite games and stuff.
Yeah.
We're not gonna ask Rasmey because his opinion doesn't matter.
Well, we already asked him anyway, too.
It's because we already asked him.
My number one game is
Didn't you have like 7? And
Didn't you
then
guys say like Persona?
you
You guys
like
all said
5,000 honorable
Persona.
mentions?
Was
Yeah, we all had
Persona
Persona.
5.
number 0.
Yeah, get a number
Nah.
0. All right. Well, thanks for coming, Riza. Thanks for coming, Rasmey. And we'll see you guys next time on Sick Podcast.
It's always good to be, it's always good to be here.
Yeah.
No one asked you.
I thought you were here all the time. All right, peace out, guys.
Bye.
Be free. Live your dreams.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 So long.
Bye.